everyone. Today we're talking about what we know and what we don't know about God. And I'm using a metaphor image that comes from the book The Cruciform Church by Leonard Allen. And it's really how we understand reality in general. So there's two models. And the first one is to think of, everything, all knowledge as an unfinished pyramid, right? So imagine you're just like a triangle and it's just kind of missing the very top of it. This approach to knowledge is pretty predominant in our movement. And the way it thinks about God is that what we know about God or about reality or about Scripture makes up the bulk of that pyramid, of that triangle, right? There's a little bit at the top that we haven't figured out yet, but if we just put in the work, if we just try a little bit harder, we can figure those things out and we can have complete knowledge of God and complete knowledge of what Scripture is saying and really about everything. Now, a second model of understanding reality flips that upside down. So now imagine an upside down pyramid or an upside down triangle. And so you've got like the core at the bottom that's secure and stable, but it just keeps going, right? There's no end or no limit to how far out this triangle, this pyramid is going to go. And so you have some solid foundation, but it never actually reaches completion. The more we learn, the more we see what there is to learn, is the way Allen describes it. That first model doesn't really allow for much awe in the face of the unknown, whereas the second increases our awe and wonder the further that we go and the more that we grow in it. Another way to think about these approaches is to think about the difference in a problem and a mystery. We sometimes use those words interchangeably, but problems are just things that are meant to be solved. And once you solve a problem, well, you don't really require much more thinking about it, right? It's done. Mysteries, on the other hand, continually draw us deeper in, right? Don't think about like a murder mystery, those kind of shows. We're thinking about the biblical idea of mystery, the way that Paul uses it all the time in other places. These kind of mysteries aren't solved, they're engaged. Neither God or Scripture or our understanding of reality itself is a problem that can be solved. They're mysteries that we live in. That's, like I said, the way Paul uses it, especially in a letter like Ephesians. In there in chapter 5, he talks about marriage as a mystery, and he's using marriage as a metaphor for our relationship with Christ. And it's a helpful metaphor because when you marry someone, you don't immediately understand everything about them, like the second that the minister says, I now pronounce you, right? You're starting a process of diving deeper into the mystery that is your partner that's going to take you your whole life, and you probably never fully figure them out, even as you do come to know them better. So that's how it is in our relationships. It's no different in our relationship with God. That's how it is with Christ. We make him our foundation, we follow in his way, and every day we dive deeper into the mystery of life with him.